Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Welcome back to Three-Digit World Cup 2026, where we are rolling onward here in the semifinals weekend with already our second of the winners bracket matches. This one featuring Team Hong Kong versus Team Chile, a matchup between the number 2 and number 3 overall seeds for a spot in the winners bracket final against the dominant number 1 seed United States. So these guys are going to have some work cut out for them right now, and then some more work cut out for them next week as well. But I think this is going to be an exciting one, and I can't wait to get to discuss why. But we're going to get right into it. I'm this one guy. Joining me is Exia. Good morning, Exia, and welcome to Hong Kong versus Chile, semifinal number 2.
Yeah, good morning. Rise and shine for the NA countries. This is going to be a blast. I mean, we've been expecting these two teams to come out into the semifinals, considering their trajectory. Chile almost wasn't here as they went to tiebreaker in the round of 16. Then that was against Indonesia in the round of 16. So we could have seen them in the losers bracket in a completely different team in the semifinal setting. But now we're definitely going to see these two teams going at it in the best of 13 for the semifinals. And that's how it's going to be for the rest of the tournament. We can already see the bans on the bottom right of the screen at the chat. DT3 ban from Hong Kong and Nomad 5 hitting 3 for Chile, getting rid of those reading maps as well as the other reading map from Ixcore as well for hidden 3.
Getting into this one right quick, but I do want to touch on, kind of their route to get here and kind of what this means to these two teams, right? Hong Kong, has had kind of that historical dominance of a lot of the rank-restricted scene. They've been very, very good in the 4-digit World Cups. They've been very, very good in the 3-digit World Cups in the past. Last year, didn't even have a team. Hong Kong literally did not exist in 3WC 2025. So coming back this year, trying to regain, kind of that past glory, and man, what a roster they put together to do it with, right? They've got Misha Awa, they've got Max Birio, they've got F2X all in the top 35 performers last week in quarterfinals. That's to say nothing of Suwagi, who didn't even play in quarterfinals, despite arguably being the best player on that roster. So very, very cool to see Hong Kong back, racing toward the top again. Then they're facing off here against this Chile team who are going to be reaching the finals week of 3WC for the first time in the history of this tournament, have never gotten past semifinals week. The question for them is, can they continue to scale into the late rounds? Only a 5-member roster, don't have the same roster depth necessarily, but do again have some very strong top-level performers with Alfio, Gonza, Nakore standing out. It's going to be an interesting story between these two teams, I think. Hong Kong on paper, I feel, has the higher skill cap, but Chile has shown themselves capable of doing pretty impressive things. So I'm very interested to see how this match plays out.
Especially how quarterfinals went. You got Hong Kong sitting at number 2 in team statistics, having a good average of about around 2 million, with Chile kind of far behind in the middle of that stat sheet. You can see them at 1.75 million team average score. And if a little fun fact, I mean, the United States 2.5 million across the entire board for the entire quarterfinals pool, as they it's just United States things, but like that's kind of like the level you want to be at if you want to go against that team. But that is not what's happening right here. It is Hong Kong versus Chile. They're only off by about 200k from each other in terms of team score. Both matches that they played in the quarterfinals went 6-2, so they're kind of equal in some cases. They only had 3 maps that they all played at the same time, the same as that's Hidden 2, Hard Rock 2, and DT1, with Hong Kong being above Chile for most of them, except for Hard Rock 2, which they almost got last place in. So yeah, but 3x3 going in, we are going to be seeing the anti-mod aim come out for Hong Kong here.
I think this makes a lot of sense for a first pick in this match for Team Hong Kong. Looking at the bans, right? Chile did ban out the Nomad 5, did ban out the Hidden 3, which are AR7 for the Nomad 5, AR8 for the Hidden 3. So Hong Kong saying, we're going to try to find whatever kind of anti-mod stuff remains in the pool, whatever kind of low AR may remain in the pool. And that is going to be this custom Free Mod 3 CS5 AR8. And this has a lot in common with that Nomad 5, right? The Nomad 5 being an older style linear grid snap map. This likewise has a lot of that linear grid snapping. Also has some kind of awkward-y tapping going on as well. So the most similar map they could find, I think, to the things that were banned out. And guess who's here today for Hong Kong? It is Suwagi. So they are operating as a fully armed and operational battle station that we come to expect from this team.
Well, you can see the players on screen for Hong Kong. I believe this is going to be the roster. Mishiawa, Max Bureau, and Suwagi for Hong Kong. Chile rostering in Gonza, Nikore, and Hanayume. These are the players that you put in for the anti-mods, for the low ARs, or for the precision. So for the free mods, you just need those 3 mods, or excuse me, 2 mods going into it. And so the good luck to have fun. So this is going to be a good roster. It's the first map happening for the semifinals. The winner of this goes to fight off against that United States roster, and the loser of this, top 6 guaranteed, has to go through the ruler of the losers bracket.
And reminder, of course, we do have custom easy multipliers. This is CS5 AR8, would be the one place to maybe see it, but it's not going to happen here. So we've got Hidden Hard Rock on Misha Awa, hidden only on Suwagi, the Nomad on Max Burio. Hanayume running that Hard Rock, unsurprisingly for Chile, with Gonza on the hidden. So really what you'd expect from these teams for the mod setups. And I think it's a lot to live up to for whoever ends up winning this. Looking at their opponent next week, it's going to be the United States, who absolutely dominated Canada last night in that 7-0 victory. So you know what you're up against already, whoever comes out of the other side of this match. So you know you need to be on your absolute A game. And this is going to be a way to say, hey guys, we're here to play. And so it is going to be an early break from Suwagi, making the debut here in this tournament, I believe. Gonza going to follow a couple breaks of his own, as well as Nikore. Score flickering back and forth as Suwagi breaks again. It's pretty much going to be dead even here through the early stages. But a big break for Mishawa. One of those 2FCs gone. Trades with Hanayume. Exia, players having some trouble here on this one.
This map is kind of difficult. I mean, even on the low AR, you still have to deal with this intense reading with the grid style mapping. No breaks coming out, but that is a 4-way break. Never mind, a full break on Hong Kong, and Chile has only 1 combo to accommodate, and that's on Hanayume, which is shortly to disappear, but there's just breaks everywhere. No one's getting any footing whatsoever. And this map is just hard. This map is going to be the same thing for the entirety of this map. No difficulty spikes, no difficulty reductions, and there is just nothing being built. But you can see a little bit of combo being built from Gonza and Nikore. I think there was just a little bit of combo from Suwagi, but there's not that much from Mishiawa or Max Bureau. So it is Chile advantage with these combos, but they need to keep holding if they want to have a clear advantage in these next minutes.
This is staying super, super close between the teams, but you gotta look at Nikore on that Nomad for Chile. Despite the breaks coming in from Hanayume and Gonza, holding on to a 300 combo best in the lobby to maintain the sliver of advantage for Chile. 2/3 of the way through. He's got no help at all for Nikore. There is 0 assistance coming from his teammates. And there's the break, and that's going to be big because it is Max Burio, his opposite number on the Nomad for Hong Kong, holding on to a 300 combo himself. Misha Awa had built up about 200. Let's see if this score gap comes down now. It's only 14,000. And the breaks just continue to come. Gonza falls, Nikore falls. There goes Hanayume, no combo at all in Chile. None on Mishawa or Suwagi really either, but Max Burio, who was kind of the unsung hero of this Hong Kong roster, was not the biggest of names, but has been performing admirably. Builds them a 7K lead before it's a reset there as well. And back to Nikore to try to bring it over for Chile again.
What is this? Okay. What is this? It's back and forth. This comes down to the wire. There's no more. He got Bancho. Yeah, that's a Bancho. Mishawa has combo. Any breaks here could mean a little bit of Chile advantage, but he's continuing to defend this off, and it's literally by minuscule amounts. No breaks coming whatsoever from either side. And I believe this is the end of the map. Hong Kong by the skin of the teeth. 30K, which is crazy to say, is already the first map pick. And it's a win from Hong Kong, which could have been a break point either way. But so many breaks, so many.
And that's genuinely just mod advantage, I'm pretty sure. That's the HDHR on Mishaawa versus going hard rock only on Hanayume. I think that just made the difference there of the 30K. That is about as close a first map as you're ever going to see. And man, to think that was the only map in that skill set that we're going to have. It's a shame to consider what Nomad 5 or Hidden 3 could have been like after this went the way that it did. But Hong Kong escaped with their lives. 31,000. Yeah, that's just the additional hidden modifier. That's nuts, man. And it's going to be a Hard Rock 2 as the first pick here for Chile, though, to open up their account here in this match. CS 5.9. And anybody like KT G-Ster?
I love this. I love this map. Nice, original. It's a great map. KT G-Ster, as T1G said, you're expecting the grid style, aim control mapping, loads of doubles into the sliders, loads of cut streams, loads of aim control when you're thinking about KT G-Ster. It's just a wonderful original as well from the Zenji's Relentless Anxiety. Check out the mapping too for this as well. I believe whoever mapped this is Shrelia?
It's mapped by Shrelia, yeah. It's a Shrelia KT G-Ster inspo pick. And if you haven't seen this map already, you'll understand pretty quickly. All of those vertical and horizontal patterns that you're so used to seeing in KT G-Ster mapping, this has that in spades. So should be a fun one. I believe both of these teams did play last week's Hard Rock 2. Which there was was a precision pick, so it's not going to be a direct comparison by any means. But Chile did have the superior score. The only of the two Hard Rocks that both teams played last week, so not a whole lot to judge by. But I think Chile just gonna look for maps that feel good for them. It's kind of that situation where you're not trying to pick into an opponent's weakness. You're trying to pick into the maps that feel best for you guys. And here that is this HR2. So excited to see how this one plays out because, man, if it's anything like the first map, right, it's going to be an intense battle.
I mean, maybe Chile could take this in a more convincing fashion than Hong Kong after the 33K and basically off of mod multipliers, but everyone's on the same mod. Everyone on Hard Rock. Good luck, have fun in the chat. We're going to be starting the map shortly. We did say that we could not make a comparison on the precision. You could just give a little bit of insight of how Hong Kong is getting 1.5 million on a precision map and Chile gets 1.7 or excuse me 1.8 million around there for a Hard Rock 2 as quarterfinals. But this is just a completely different map. As T1G said, you're going into the aim control map. You're gonna have those players that have the ability to do these kind of maps, to do the Burning Star, to do the Gangao, excuse me, to the
Gangao Zofun.
Gangao Zofun. I was like, damn, what is the name of this map? I know it's in the top of my head, but yeah.
Right, away we go. And instantly, I think it was about, I don't know, here when I was like, hey, this is a KT G-Ster inspo, and I opened the map description, and it literally says KT G-Ster inspired, so there we were. And there are so many places you can break on these types of maps with the little snaps and the aim control requirement across those cut quads built into doubles. It's so easy to fall off any given pattern in this map. Already seeing early break from Gonza, early break from F2X, Nikore next, and just Alfeu left on the FC for Chile against the double FC from Mishaawa and Max Burio on Hong Kong. They have been the star players for this Hong Kong roster so far in this tournament. Looking to continue that here today. Another break from Nikore. It's going to be an early lead for Hong Kong. Already, this gap is bigger than any lead we saw on the entire last map, I'm pretty sure.
A lot bigger than the 33K that was ended from that Fremont 3, but there is an FC and Alfeu A little bit of reverse combo from Gonza. Break from F2X. So it's going to give some sort of advantage towards Chile. You still have the 2 FCs, but you don't have the most combo in the lobby. As the break comes by, we are going into the section where the difficulty continues to stay stable, but it does have a upward trajectory for the entirety of this map, T1G, and it's just the 2 FCs on Mishiawa and Max Bureau. Alfio on the FC, Gonza on the reverse choke into the hard section as Max Bureau finds a break.
And that's going to be a big one because now Chile has a gigantic combo advantage. It is going to be lost a little bit, though. It's Gonza and Nakori to both fall. Their advantage is gone now. A 1v1 on the board. Misha, Awa, and Alfio. The accuracy ever so slightly in favor of Alfio, but the shakes, oh my goodness. Watch his cursor carefully. There he goes. I had a feeling that was going to happen. You saw the cursor. It was falling to pieces. Now the question is, will there be enough time? If Misha Awa holds on to this FC into the ending, the score gap coming down, the score gap going over, and Hong Kong's legend is writing a new tale for himself here in 3WC semifinals. Misha Awa bringing the full combo into the ending, bringing the lead into the ending, and he's going to bring the break point to Hong Kong with an FC on this Hard Rock 2, and that's 2-0 for HK. They may well just be off to the races if he's going to be having a day like this.
A scary Fremont 3 win of 33K. And now we're seeing an absolutely convincing star performance from Misha Awa. You expect things from this guy, and he's going to perform just as well as you expect him to. I mean, this score is absolutely insane. 3 dots from F2X as he's either in awe from the score. I mean, I'm in absolute awe. This is a beautiful score. 97.46% is an absolute beautiful score to have on a Hard Rock 2 like this one. And that with that, Hong Kong in advantage, already in consolidation of that point as they're up 2-0 and the ability to go up 3-0. They're going to be in a really nice spot here.
Just put themselves in a pretty good position starting this match off. I will be interested to see, though. They got to back it up. They got to win their own pick here still. Maybe they delve into that hidden pool. Maybe they stay in the Fremont pool. I could see something like the Fremont 4 working out for them with the kind of aim control requirement that they just were able to display on that HR2. What else? You know, hidden 2, Fremont 4. If you want to kind of keep things, you know, conceptually similar. Other than that, it could be anywhere. And so that's kind of the beauty of these teams and the beauty of this pool. A lot of different skill sets on offer and very deep rosters that are able to play just about anything. It really leaves those picks up in the air until they come in. So we wait and wonder.
Yeah, maps that are pretty similar towards each other. I mean, the Noma 3 and the Hard Rock 3 are kind of those like rhythmic flow maps. Noma 3 is going to be the pick for Hong Kong. So we're going to delve into a little bit of a lower AR map. This is one of the lower AR maps in terms of Noma, 9.3 AR. So for those that cannot have the lower AR reading, you're going to have a little bit of density in this kind of map. It is very flowy aim alt control. You got the occasional 1-6 burst popping up. Really dense patterns in the key eyes with kind of stacks back and forths. And when I talk about the 9.3 AR, I looked at this map, I played it as well. It is kind of hard to especially play these kind of low dense patterns, especially when it's in a diamond kind of section and then you're looking at, wow, where do I go?
Now, it feels off of the back of the Hard Rock 2, you know, it does feel that Hong Kong has the ability to at least have a certain level of comfort with that style of mapping. You know, some of the aim control and, you know, snap changes, I do think will suit them well. So this should be, I think, a pretty good spot for them. But man, on maps like this, and especially with like the 1/6 bursts that show up at the end of this, there's just little things that can trip you up. It's the same way with a lot of the less straightforward picks in this pool, right? Where there's all kinds of sections, all kinds of patterning that can catch you out. So gotta be locked in, gotta be focused all the way through. And this is a pretty short one too, right? 1 minute and 41 seconds. So You know, we're playing a couple of the shorter picks in this pool back-to-back with the just over 2 minutes in the Hard Rock 2, under 2 minutes in the Snow Mod 3. We're saying screw consistency. We are testing a particular subset of a particular skill set. So away we're going to go. A21 Max Birio Misha Awa against Nikore Alfiu Gonza, that core 3 for Chile, looking to get the break point back, while Hong Kong will try for the consolidation.
Consolidation is going to be pretty hard. I mean, Chile is on their core roster. I expect some good things out of Alfiu. He's been one of the great performers across the board for the entirety of this tournament already, especially getting into the quarterfinals is one of the huge players that had some huge scores. Oh, with the first break, uncharacteristic for the beginning, but it's literally just one break in the middle. This map is sitting at 152 seconds, and so this could mean a lot for that break from Misha-Awa, but now Gonza is going to find the break, and it is going to be the 2 FCs to Misha-Awa on a reverse choke and a little bit of more combo than Gonza, but this is basically down the middle in terms of accuracy. It's just the combo from Hong Kong that's just keeping them just a little bit in the lead here.
Yeah, it's maybe, what, extra 100, 150 combo or so, just Misha-Awa versus Gonza, not even 150. But you build up whatever advantage you can, right, in the first half of this map, because it certainly doesn't get any easier as you go through these spaced flow patterns. No breaks. That is really impressive. All 6 players managing to hold through there. And now we're going to come into the last third of the map. Things are really going to start to ramp up, and it's going to be crucial for everyone to hold for as long as possible. These crazy little snap patterns, the tapping strain that's going to come in. It's going to be Misha-Awa to fall. Chile now. As you said, it'd be tough for Hong Kong to get the consolidation, and Chile showing us why. It's Gonza to finally break, but they did build up a 30k lead. Can Nikore and Alfiu keep this one going against the double FC of A21 and Max Birio on the other side?
Just a little bit more. Gonza on a break. That actually does give a little advantage to Hong Kong. It might flip over. There is accuracy advantage keeping them in, but these back and forths, these overlaps, the 1-6, nobody's dropping. There was no drops on Hong Kong, but the accuracy is victorious over Chile, and that's the reason why they got the break point. I said it was going to be tough on a No Mod 3 like this when you have the core roster of Chile going at it, and that is why you give it to Alfie, you give it to Nikore, and they'll drop 2 FCs with insane accuracy. Look at the differences, 98% on Alfie, 96% across the board for Hong Kong, but just the slight accuracy advantage is why they're able to defend that combo advantage from Hong Kong, and that is a very, very nice break point.
And that is just incredibly impressive act from Chile. I mean, 98, 98, and 97 against a trio of 96s. We expected the score to go over, I think, to Hong Kong when they built up a little bit of combo lead, but it just never happened. And in fact, it went back to Chile thanks to their ability to maintain the act on the map. So very well done to them, recovering the break point quickly, and they'll be able to tie the match up very fast with the DT1 if they can win their own pick here. And this is going to switch things up a fair amount, going from, you know, some aim control sub-tapping to just a straightforward fast DT1. This is 270 BPM, lots of bursts and triples bursts, and it's air 10.5 as well, right? So this is asking something a little different of you. This is asking a little bit more how good are your raw mechanics compared to the first few picks that we played, which were really a little more non-standard. And this is an area where it feels like Chile has really excelled over the course of the tournament. Both these teams played DT1 last week, though. Hong Kong did have a better score despite the perceived strength of Chile in the skill set. So it's going to be interesting.
The custom map from Yuchin. This is not the maps that you guys are thinking about if you're looking at Anahita for this one. And we talk about the AR 10.5 as T1G mentioned. This is going to be a map where you're basically going to be praying for those really high combos. No score capping, hopefully, as Hong Kong has a 2.9 million score on the DT1. Chile only one FC from Gonza. Alfiu probably break somewhere in the middle of the map or about the second third of the map. So basically this comes down to whoever is able to hold the FC or excuse me, who's able to not break the score cap. So if you're missing in the middle, this is going to be some pretty big score cap. And considering how long this map is, 2 minutes and 34 seconds, this is longer than the No Mob map that we just played. So let's just see and hope that Chile finds something here. They got to get a little bit going. I mean, you're down 1 point, but you did get that break point. So there was no advantage right here in this best of 13 now.
And we are going to be on slightly different rosters for this one. We're going to see Zumari coming in for the first time for Hong Kong. We're going to see Fefe coming in for the first time for Chile. And, you got to figure that coming in for a map like this, you're the specialist in the skill set. You're going to be prepared for it. But we do see a double early miss from Hong Kong. It is Zumari and Max Birio falling in that little intro. Chile to take a small advantage, but not without a little bit of a stumble in this early verse, as Fefe will go down and combo advantage back to HK for just a moment until Zumari breaks as well. I feel a little more challenging on this one than your normal DT1 because of that speed being a little bit higher than I think a lot of standard DT1s with higher tapping strain requirements. So we'll see how the players go through it. This is going to be a Gonza playground. You can see his accuracy. You can see his combo. He's going to have a great time with this. So the question is going to be, who else? Who will follow him? Who will join him? And so far it's Alphiu, but also Misha Awa and Max Birio performing quite well.
Okay, that's a break from Gonza.
My bad.
My bad. Well, that's going to give advantage towards Hong Kong. DT1, I mean, Hong Kong, with both of their players, Max Birio and Mishiawa, performing above 1 million for this DT1, you're going to expect it once again. But Gonza was the player in quarterfinals to reach that 1 million mark for Chile. And the tables have turned as Alphiu is now the player to step up to that plate to try and get this score for Chile here, as Hong Kong still has the double FC, or excuse me, the 1 FC in the reverse choke from Max Birio. And this is really scary already. We already had a break point on them on 3. We're going to see second break point in the row if we do not see any breaks from Hong Kong. But this map is very consistent. You're not going to see anything different. But here in the more finger control-y section here, Fifi's going to find more breaks. Zumari is finding a little bit more consolidation on his combo. And it's just the 2 huge combos that Hong Kong has to keep them in advantage here.
260k lead, just a couple hundred combo left here in the final Ki. It's Max Birio to go down at long last. It's trading with Fefe. That is worse for Hong Kong, though, as Misha Awa goes down as well. There is some time and some combo left. You've got a 100k score here for Alphiu and a bit for Gonza. This is going to come down quick into the ending, but I think Hong Kong may have done enough to give themselves an unassailable lead. It's going to get very close in the last seconds, all the way down to 55k. But thanks to that big lead they built up through the middle third of the map and into the last quarter, Hong Kong are able to hold on. And that is 3 straight break points in this match, because of course it is. And Hong Kong go back out into the lead at 3-1. It's just the smallest margins. It's Alphiu on the lone FC in the lobby. Misha Awa with the 950k, though, and just enough of a gap in those other couple players. Max Birio and Zumari above Gonza and Fefe as well. If that map's another 10 seconds, there's probably enough score to bring it back with what Alphiu and Gonza were doing into the ending. Unfortunately, they just ran out of time. It was not meant to be, and now Hong Kong gets another pick and another opportunity to consolidate a break point after failing the first time. Let's see if they can get it right this time.
To talk about how score capping in that kind of map is dangerous, and it happened once again. Basically, Chile got the same score line that they did in last year DT1 on Karakara, the Keisoku band map, with 1 FC, 1 700k, and 1 400k. But now it is going to be Hong Kong's next pick. Did really good on that Hard Rock 2. Number 3 was a pick that you believe that you would go into with the 2 FCs. You expected that point to be like yours. I mean, what are you going to do against like 2 FCs and a little bit more combo, but you just can't hack it. Other maps such as that one, you can go in the Hard Rock 3. It is very similar in terms of the rhythmic style, in terms of the alt flow, but it is going to be the free mod 4 as we're going into the Marmalade Butcher map.
And I think I kind of tossed this out there as a map that they might be interested in picking at some point, right? Just based on the way, the Hard Rock 2 went, if nothing else. And then, yes, they lost the Nomad 3, but they dropped the double FC. Like you said, you're not anticipating to lose that map too often with a double FC. So you're not, I don't think, going to be too turned off from picking within, at least somewhat similar skill sets. And I think people kind of know what to expect at this point out of Marmalade Butcher maps, right? Amanita's had a couple of sets out there that have been in tournament play, and so you're going to be forced into another pick with a lot of that element of aim control, some finger control as well. This is like, I almost think of this as like a light tech overall consistency, because it really does offer a lot of different kind of adjacent skill sets. And they're ones that we've seen already in the early picks with the Hard Rock 2, with the Nomad 3 to some extent. And we've seen both these teams performing well in them. So I get Hong Kong picking back into this, but it's another one where I do think that Chile will be very competitive.
They're definitely going to see the core roster once again for Chile. I mean, talked about it. That's the roster to be able to create something beautiful to get that break point. And that's what you saw in that Nomad 3. So Hong Kong, let's just see if maybe they see the 2 FCs once again and you're just going to lose the act. But for this free mod 4 coming around, I don't believe that's ever going to happen once again. Definitely going to be this roster. Misha Awa, A21, Max Burio. For Hong Kong, these players really, really good on these kind of maps for Marmalade Butcher. You're definitely going to have the mechanics. Definitely going to have that flow aim implemented for all these players. And yes, that is the core roster for Chile, Alfiu, Nikore, and Gonza. Expecting the breakpoint opportunity to still be up in the air for Chile here, as this is the roster that's able to do it more time and time again. But now into the free mod 4, you have the default mods for Hong Kong, as you have one hidden Hard Rock. And you also have the hidden Hard Rock on Alfiu and a hidden on Gonza. So a little bit of an overmod from Alfiu, but especially on hidden Hard Rock on that guy, it is still very scary.
Kind of funny, Chile saw that they lost to mod advantage on the free mod 3 earlier and said, we're not going to let that happen again. And then Hong Kong just flips the script on them by going only one hidden, one Hard Rock. So, if this one ends up like the free mod 3 did and you end up with the mod advantage winning it for Chile, that would be a pretty funny bookend to the first pick of the match. But I feel that is unlikely. It's not often that you see lightning strike twice in these types of matches, I don't think. And it is Alfiu suffering a little bit for the overmod. Has broken a couple times already. Fortunately for them, it's Max Burio to trade it back over. And so it's 2 FCs against 2 with Misha A21 against Nikore and Gonza on the double FC. Same mods as well, a hidden FC and a no mod FC. And same accuracy on Nikore and Gonza. Just watch and learn from these guys' accuracy, man. Wow.
OD9, you have a little bit of a leeway, but especially with the slider ends and how they're kind of formed in this map, it is kind of difficult. That's a break on A21, so advantage towards Chile here, as Alfiu does find a little bit more consolidation on his combo for the hidden Hard Rock. So it is a lot of advantages for Chile here, as a break point again. You gotta see, I mean, what are these accuracies, and especially these combos too. But into the flow section here, no one finds any breaks. A21 with a break earlier there did find some huge score caps. So Mishiawa, the one on the hidden, has to go against these 2 FCs, and especially the SS on Nikore and Alfiu finding a lot of combo on the hidden Hard Rock. They're taking mod advantage, but also shoving huge combos down your throat, as they are absolutely obliterating you on the flow here.
Yeah, no, this is just an absolutely crazy...
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay. Well, it was crazy, and now it's crazy for a little bit of a different reason. As Gonza and Nikore fall down from their double FC, you're down to Alfiu on the 800 combo with HDHR. He's obviously comfortable with the map. There's only a quarter left. It was a 200k lead, but you have A21 just a couple hundred combo behind Alfiu. Misha Awa still holding on to the hidden FC, which kind of opens this up a little bit. Watch that score gap coming down a tiny bit at a time. I think Hong Kong will maybe need help. I think they need a break from Alfiu. But it's going to get interesting here into the ending if Misha Awa and
is
A21
going down.
continue to hold. It is going down, but I don't know if it's going down fast enough.
Is it fast enough? There is the huge combo in A21. Never mind, I speak my truth. But that's a break on out for you. And that's now a scary time. It's a scary time to be alive for Chile as Misha Awa. He's holding strong. The flow is nothing to him. The aim is nothing to him. That lead change is absolutely everything to Hong Kong. The break happened. So what is happening? There's madness on the screen. Pandemonium. I believe that's the last slider. There's still a little bit more map, but I think 33K is enough. I think the breaks from Chile on that section made the deal and sealed it as Hong Kong by the skin of their teeth by Misha Awa's 938K, and the little combo to bring that lead over is the reason why that is not a break point, and they finally end the 3-map streak to consolidate themselves into a 4-1 lead.
Boy, Misha Awa just on a different level, man. I mean, the scores we've seen from him to clutch out a couple of maps. We saw it on that Hard Rock 2 with the FC. He top scored the DT1 to give them the tiny margin of victory there. And now he top scores the Fremod 4 to take another minuscule margin of victory. I mean, it's 37K on the back of 55K on the back of 60K. And we started out with 31K, mind you. 4 out of our 5 maps so far have been decided by 60,000 points or less. Unfortunately, you know, several of them going, actually all of them going the way of Hong Kong. It's a shame, but, or all but one of them, excuse me, going the way of Hong Kong. Shame for Chile, because you can really think about what could have been with just one better combo somewhere on your team. Fortunately, did not happen. And it's a quick no mod 4 pick from Chile to answer. They're not spending time thinking about what could have been. They're forging onward into their next pick of a really just modern tech map.
Very, very modern. I mean, the custom map from Hoshizora Rin, it's going to be a great map. The Snowball 4 does provide the most hybrid of tech maps. You got those aim control sections, you have the doubles, and you have the aim control. Slider ticks of this map do require a bit of knowledge. They do have some really funny, funky slider fast patterns, but overall, this is the modern tech pick that you expect from Chile. And into a Hong Kong such as this one, it is still kind of scary. You're going into scary territory, just considering that Hong Kong has been playing really good. You have to be performing at a top level into the Snowball 4, especially when you're going against Misha Awa, that has been absolutely lights out on some of these picks and is one of the sole reasons why Hong Kong is up 4-1 in this match. So this Snowball 4, it could go either way for both of these teams, and especially when you don't have your star performer performing at the level you want them to, it is going to be a very tough time for you.
Everything's going to feel really, really just tight between these teams, and I'm kind of interested, you know, thinking about strategy as we start to get into this. So we might have to put a pin in this one, but kind of curious not to see Chile picking into any tapping yet. Can maybe return to that because it looks like we have some GLA chefs coming out, so we're going to be getting going. But that is something to keep in mind for the rest of this match going forward, as we're already, you know, reaching kind of the later stages. Hong Kong already passed the halfway mark in terms of points required to win, having 4 up on the board. So this is going to be a big one, right? Chile does not want to go down the double break point 5-1 advantage. Hong Kong, though, playing quite well today. We'll see how this one goes. This is another one, you know, accuracy often at a premium, and we've seen accuracy working out very well for Chile. So if they can continue to have that as an advantage for them on a map where, you know, it's tech, AC is going to be tricky, it's going to give them just that, you know, those few thousand points here and there, which over the course of this match have actually mattered. So keep that in mind as Chile is looking like the superior team in terms of accuracy so far. Will that hold on this tech map, or will this be the one where maybe Hong Kong can turn that particular facet of this match around?
Map is so good. I love this map so much. I love the tech such as this one. Max Virio, first break of the lobby for the Snowball 4. But this is technically the entirety of the map. This is basically showing the gist of it. So what you're seeing is going to be that Nomad 4 for the rest of this bit. A lot of aim control, a lot of cut streams, a lot of doubles to soothe your knee. But no one's breaking on the burst sliders. It's going to be a break on Mishawa. Kind of cheeses the slider tick, but misses on a little bit of mis-aiming on those kind of bursty sections. But it is in a beautiful a beautiful 3 FCs from Chile, and Nakori is going to break on the slider tick, as 821 is the only FC on Hong Kong to go against the 2 FCs on Alfiu and Gonza.
Core roster of Chile coming in once more and putting up a couple of really good scores through the first third of the map, building themselves up a little lead. Shout out 3WC Slider. Down goes Nakori again, though. It's going to give a little bit of room for Hong Kong, but not in much time. There goes Max Virio. There goes Gonza. That's FC down. Misha Awa to fall as well. And now it is A21 against Alfiu, the only FC left. 100k score gap with the combo still ever so slightly favoring Chile. But down goes Alfiu, and that is going to be huge. No, it is not going to be huge. It's going to be minuscule. It's going to be tiny. It's going to be meaningless. As A21 suffers from the same ignominious fate just after. And no lead will be possible here for Hong Kong. And Nakori and Gonza going to build back up a little bit over cover combo as we crest the halfway mark. And it is 100k score advantage in favor of Chile, looking to win their own pick for the first time in this match and on their way so far.
Still a really tough section to come in this last third of the map. You still can have a little bit of combo breaks if you're Chile going into this section, as Hong Kong could hold. The potential's still there, but that is not going to be that script. It is going to be flipped as Hong Kong finds 3 breaks on all 3 players as we get into the hardest section of the map. Gonza, the only one to hold through this section to fall. And now it's just basically going to seal it. There's no combo to have. There's no combo to withstand. It is going to be Nomad 4 winning for Chile. They're down 3 points. Going to be down 2 after this map, and it's Nomad 4. Great pick. I said it. This is a map for Chile to go off on, as all 3 players had a really good performance on this kind of map here.
This is solid stuff. I mean, all 3 in kind of similar straights. You've got the scores within about 60,000 points of each other, with Hong Kong holding a couple lower performances on Mishawa and Max Virio. So Chile just taking advantage of whatever marginal gains that they could find on a pick like this one, and it goes their way. Accuracy, I think, ended up in their favor as well. Didn't end up really mattering, but it's there. And a second point goes up. An S rank goes up for Gonza. That's pretty cool. And now, if you're Chile, it's like, okay, we won our own pick for the first time in the match. We can try to settle down a little. It's not like we're down 5-1, 6-0, anything crazy like that. We've still got time in the match. It's best of 13. Hong Kong still got to get 3 more points. But next pick is to Hong Kong. So they do have the opportunity now to find another good pick, to win something maybe a little more comfortably. It feels like they haven't done a whole lot of that. And, kind of continue to stake their claim on this match. Question to me, where do you go now if you are Team Hong Kong? Because I don't know that you stay in the free mod pool for a third time. I don't know that you necessarily love the free mod 1 or free mod 2 angle. Do you still have that hidden 2 out there? Do you have a few other, skill sets represented? The Hard Rock 3 you talked about a little bit ago. But the options are going to get interesting as we get farther and farther into the match.
I think for aim, just consistency overall hasn't been really tested. You did have free mod 3. I guess you can make an argument for anti-mod aim. Free mod 1, hidden 1, and no mod 1 still up available. Awkward aim on the free mod 1, hidden 1 with a little bit more just straightforward aim, still a little bit awkward. No mod 1 being not whatsoever a kind of aim map. It is a built-in aim map with the speed on the Mimi EDM squad. So the dubstep map is not that much of an aim map. Stamina has not really been tested this entire match here. The DT2 and Fremont 2 still up, but it is going to go into an aim angle. We're going to see some edamame. We're going to be having some really awkward aim. Very, very awkward. AR9, OD9, kind of note lockable. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. 7 stars for the no mod players. And you're definitely going to see a lot more hard rocks. Maybe you're going to see hidden hard rocks due to the low AR9. That is going to make this map really, really dense.
Yo, baby, no money? Who the fuck is that?
No cash.
Baby, no moolah. Absolute banger. I don't know. I'm just in this one for the vibes. I am an unashamed fan of Baby No Money. Like I know it's kind of like, it's probably considered kind of trashy, but I really like his music. So I'm just here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time type of thing. But yeah, this is, you know, kind of has the Hidden One vibes in terms of the style of aim, the wide angle awkward aim that you mentioned. And yeah, you know, we saw the DT1, which is like the only really aimy pick we've seen, I guess, you know, again, notwithstanding the 3mod 3. So we switch it up a little bit here, and feels like Hong Kong's just really liking the free mods. This will be their third free mod pick of this match. I don't think we'll see 4. I don't anticipate them picking the free mod 2 into this Chile roster. But, you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. And if this goes well for you, right, then you maybe think about the Hidden One as well in the pool. That'd be a kind of direct next option if you are Hong Kong and this goes according to plan. But if not, you know, it doesn't take too much away from you because there really isn't a whole lot of aim consistency in the pool, especially with the Hard Rock 1 banned out. So we'll get into it and kind of see how it goes. Interested to see what we get for mods. You know, one Hard Rock minimum requirement. So with Max Burio 821 F2X, you're going to find some comfort there. Alfie Nakore Hanayume, so that's going to be Hanayume on the Hard Rock, I would guess. Remind me who would go hidden of that. Probably it's normally been like Gonza, I feel.
Yeah.
Where's the earlier? Yeah, it's been Gonza on the previous 2 free mods on hidden, so without him, I'm not actually sure who it's going to be for this one. Also no Misha Awa, so not going to be likely an HDHR angle for Hong Kong. You see Misha Awa often being an HDHR on kind of the more consistency-based free mods. And we appear to maybe be missing our referee here for a moment as we are awaiting getting the map started.
You lagging?
Well, our referee is at Kel.
Oh.
So could be land things. At ref.
Time to start the match, but they're at understandably.
Bebe no tiene plata.
Bebe no dinero. This is the match of all time. Now we're going to the point where we forgot the referee. Manual breathe mode. Oh, he made me. Oh, it's over. Why would you do this?
What does that mean? Literally means baby
Manually
doesn't have money. If you want to be technical. But
I think I'm going to the hospital. What is happening?
Popsicle. I'm a little concerned. Should we be worried for F2X?
I'm a little concerned. I'm concerned that our referee just die.
I think we're getting it sorted out, but well, hopefully, I mean, you know, if nothing else, we get to listen to Edamame for a while, I guess, which isn't like the worst thing ever. Easy modification mentioned. Surely there's easy on this map.
It is a 2-point multiplier, so
yeah,
it does have some weight.
It's gotta be a big multiplier because nobody's gonna actually do it. Have you seen any easy yet? I haven't seen any easy yet.
I think there was easy in round of 16 free mod 3. But that's like understandable because it's Yantan mod map with just like low aim requirement, low mechanics requirement, just reading overall. There hasn't been a easy in the quarterfinals, I believe. I don't think people are taking easy anymore because you would have to take the effort to learn the map, and tournament players do not like learning maps.
feel like in the past we've seen some really easy favored maps, and we actually did see people running easy on them, kind of the usual suspects. Maybe that's a little less so now.
Yeah, there were 4 easies played in the round of 16, 3x3. For quarterfinals, I'm gonna go pull that up actually real quickly.
That's fair. So worth noting, while we are waiting here, we are going to be getting underway on the B stream, I believe, in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes out. 16 UTC is going to be Brazil versus South Korea. That is, of course, a losers bracket matchup. The winner will face off against either Germany or Romania tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that one over on 3WC OSU B. In about 10 minutes, you'll get an announcement if you're in the Discord server. If you're not in the Discord server, go get in the Discord server so you can get announcements. But our referee is back, and we are able to get going. Hard Rock F2X hidden A21, Hard Rock Hanayume hidden Alpha, and Baby No Moolah. Time for some awkward aim, and I think this one might be pretty challenging for players, seeing how this map has started out poorly for many of them.
You can basically already see how this map is kind of panning out. The Nomad players having an awkward time on the Nomads and the Hiddens as well. I expected the Hidden Hard Rock to come out just because of the low AR9, but I believe the players are just very comfortable on the aim setup that they have. A21 is going to drop combo, so it is going to be advantage towards Chile. Max Birio, I believe, is on an FC, and so F2X is just not far behind. That, what the heck? That's a 4-way break with Chile being an absolute lights out combo break from every single player there, as F2X, the only player to hold with Hard Rock and on Han. Okay, never mind, he's gone. But that was a little bit of combo that brought the lead over a little bit, and everyone has no combo.
And, you know, no combo just works in favor of Hong Kong. Like, if you're Hong Kong, as long as it's all 6 people missing, it's fine. Like, it just doesn't matter. You're only up by 50k, but the other team isn't going to be able to do much to combat it. So it's all good. But yeah, I mean, you can see, right? This map is just difficult. The style of aim required here is absolutely brutal. It's not something you really run into outside of these particular slots. And wow, Max Birio though, shout outs to Max Birio, bringing combo into this late portion of the map after holding through the last section there. And this is going to be the most comfortable win for Hong Kong, I think, on any pick of their own, right? 200k-ish by the time all is said and done. Is pretty good considering how things have been going in this match. So finally getting that kind of comfortable win on a pick that they made, just built a lead and held on to the lead. And Max Birio, 563k, 99 accuracy, just both tops in the lobby by a sizable margin. Best combo in the lobby by 120 or 115 as well. That is just Max Birio doing Max Birio things. He has, as I said earlier, kind of been a revelation, I think, over the this tournament and going back just the past few months before. Finally, Chile gonna pick some tapping. It's very quick. No time to talk about what just happened. It's 3-2 from Chile. Exia, I have anticipated Chile picking tapping in this matchup the whole time, and I'm surprised it took this long, but here we are.
Yeah, especially like just leaving it out for this long. You're waiting for something. I don't even know what they're waiting for to pick tapping from Chile into this map. Fremont 2 is very well suited for them. This is a map where you don't need stamina for this kind of map for the first 2/3 of the map. But the last third of the map, yeah, that's where you might need stamina. And this is why this map kind of just has a very low skill ceiling for the tapping. Like, if you can get to the last thirds of the map, you can mash that, and you can probably get some FCs just off a very low combo here, or excuse me, the low accuracies. But yeah, this is weird that we're seeing Chile picking speed very, very late into this match. I mean, you're down 5-2 with Hong Kong reaching into that series point potential, and I believe our referee has disappeared once again.
let's see, I'm checking. Yep, he had a bug in his ref client, so he had to restart. So yeah, we'll get our ref back again eventually. I will refrain from comment on the matter, but I like that Chile is opting into this tapping at last. They had the DT3 banned out against them by Hong Kong. They have really good tapping players. There's Fremod 2, DT2 available. Also kind of Nomad 1-ish. So like they will need a break point, but they have picks to go into the rest of the match, basically within the same skill set. So if things go optimally for them, there's a world where you can see how they get back into this match. The problem is they have to win their own picks and they have to get break points, so it's gonna be a lot easier said than done.
I mean, I'm down to hear Baby No Money. I mean, Baby No Cash. I mean, Baby No whatever his name is for a little bit longer. The referee, yeah, he's in Kel, so this is gonna make things a little awkward right now. Yeah. Maps in the pool left. Noma 1, another kind of speed map for the consistency. Noma 2, very, very flowy, as we've seen in... I don't believe we've played any other flowy maps in this pool. I believe Noma 2 is one of its kind and one of its very own. That is... Where's the ref? We're stalling. Now we're stalling.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But like, especially with us going into a tapping pick, right? Like, this is where you really can't afford to have big breaks in the action. Like, you need to stay warm to be able to go into a tapping map and perform, you know, to the level you need to win in a matchup like this. So hopefully we're able to get that sorted out sooner rather than later, so that everybody doesn't get cold. If they're smart, they'll probably have just left the lobby to go practice, to be honest. We'll just go play Fremod 2 in solo practice for a few minutes here while we are waiting. So let's see if we've got any updates. Yeah, I think we have at least... Okay, well, he's back, so it's okay. I was gonna say we have like a couple people ad ref, so there are
nuked.
people that could take over, but I think we're good. Gone into the past are the days where we had commentator refs. That used to be me, man. I used to ref stream commentate all at once, matches upon matches upon matches, but I don't want to do that anymore, man. I'm too old for that.
Yeah, we're too old. I'm too attention span deficit for that. They grew me up with the Gen Z brain, and all I do is doom scroll and lay in my bed. But okay, we got Fremod 2 pick, as we have guaranteed in the beginning of this match. It was a very fast pick for Chile to pick Fremod 2, but unfortunately the referees... Oh my god, is he gone again?
Okay, everybody's just doomed because apparently their IRCs are messed up or something.
Thank you, Osu, for using a weird client to referee.
I don't know. Do we blame C4O here? Like, is it actually Chef Osu's fault? I don't really know whose fault this would necessarily be.
Yeah, what is happening? Okay, I believe we are getting another emergency ref. I think Hunter is coming.
I think what we're doing is having our streamer, as you can tell by the music stopping, is restarting actually exiting his tournament client so that he can open IRC, because you have to open IRC before you open the tourney client. And then our streamer will be able to hopefully take over as the ref if his IRC works, which at this point I'm not really sure if that's quite as guaranteed a thing as it normally would have been. We do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for the technical difficulties here. We are actively working to find a solution for these matters, but in the meantime, you get to listen to us blabbering on. So,
you know, the blabber.
Not anything wrong with that. Well, if the other match was underway, we could radio cast the other match. Unfortunately, the other match is not quite underway as of yet, but I know they're going to be soon. Again, that's going to be at twitch.tv/3WC Osu B question mark. I don't actually know what the full URL is. Yeah, 3WC Osu B.
Underscore B.
3WC underscore Osu B. That will be over there starting in hopefully soon, because it is a 16 UTC match, so that is right about now. I think that should be an interesting one. Brazil versus South Korea. I mean, Brazil got 6-0'd last week, but this year's United States is just on a freaking mission, so I don't really take too much away from that. South Korea was already in losers, but they took down Indonesia 6-3. Who did they? Oh, that's right. They lost to France in tiebreaker in round of 16. That has to be one of the weirdest matches I've ever seen statistically, because South Korea was the best performing team of the entire week, and they lost. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
When you're like number one, you're just like, you're winning your maps by like absolute massive margins, and you're losing maps by just little. Yeah, that's like, it'll definitely put you on the top for performing. I'm about to like, my voice is about to crack soon. Let me clear my throat. All right. But I think Chile, when we're looking at the speed maps, as we're waiting for this to all boot up, we do see the score once again, Hong Kong, Chile. So the client has booted up successfully. Let's just see if the referee client has successfully also booted up. For speed, yeah, Hong Kong's still there. Hong Kong still can do speed. Maybe not as well as Chile can do, but it's still very scary on a free mod 2 as we're going into. Are we back? Is Malvoseek back?
I am not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think, what was in speed last week, right? There was no mod 2 last week that was speedy. There was DT2 last week that was speedy. I don't think...
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Neither of these teams played either of those maps either, so we just don't have like the direct comparison on the skill set in question.
You had Hong Kong playing the Nomad 2. They got a score, team score of 2.5 million.
You're right.
Oh. Hello.
It might be back. Hopefully the ref just ad refs literally everyone. Just ad ref everyone, and that way this won't happen. This won't continue to happen. That's true. So Hong Kong played the Nomad 2 last week, put up 2.5 million. It was second of 12 plays on that map of the week. Chile, they both played DT1, but that was a more straightforward DT1, a little less tapping, I think, than this week's. It was faster. It was 285 versus 270, but it was, I think, a little less raw tapping requirement. That was won by Hong Kong as well by like 600,000 points, 650k between these two teams. And obviously Hong Kong has already won the DT1 in this direct matchup this week earlier in this match, which feels like days ago at this point, with how slowly this match has been going. That obviously required the just super hard carry, Misha Awa dropping the 950k, top scoring the team by 100,000, despite Alpha U FCing. Managed to be enough. I guess it's Misha Awa Max Burio, I apologize, dropping the very solid 2 scores there. So yeah, despite Chile, seeming to have a pretty good tapping team, you do have that bit of concern for how good Hong Kong is capable of being, especially how good their scheme is.
Well, I believe all the players in the lobby, I believe, we're finally getting the empty start we so waitingly deserved. We are going to hear Soulja Boy for about a good 3 minutes and 37 seconds for this map. Talked about it, not very high stamina requirements for this map, and you can see why. Lots of overmods already. A hidden hard rock on Gonza, a hidden and a hard rock for Chile as well, accommodating that, and 3 miles as well on Hong Kong, 2 hard rocks and a hidden on Mishaawa. So you can see why they're over modding this. This is not a huge aim map. This is a very stamina based map, with most of the stamina coming out on the last third of the map, or basically the last 30 seconds of this map.
This is like one of the most just interminably long feeling like tapping maps. 3.5 minute long, like no mod 5, or you know, in this case free mod 2, just goes and goes and goes and goes. But you know, you're talking about the relatively lower skill cap requirement of this map in terms of just raw skill of it, and you're seeing that kind of playing out with 6 FCs through 650 combo. Nobody looking even close to breaking. The accuracy staying pretty high for just about everyone also. Just tossing this out there, I am old enough for this map, or for this song, to have been popular when I was a freshman in high school. It was everywhere in 2006, 2007.
2007, damn. Where were you in the 2007 year?
I bet there's people in chat who weren't born yet.
I was exactly 1 year old. I was exactly 1 year old. Oh my.
Yeah, this song was like in a time before we used viral as a term to describe like stuff that was popular in the mainstream. This song was viral. And no breaks still, by the way, 1200 combo across all 6 members. It's a bit of a lead to Chile to the spear accuracy, thanks to the 94 on F2X, helping that out for them.
Okay, we're finally getting to the part where you need stamina. This is what I would talk about. The map is basically nothing. And now for the last second third of the map, or excuse me, the last third of the map is basically this now, until we get to very longer streams. The longer stream in this map is 32 notes, so we have still yet to see if stamina is going to be a problem for anybody here, but considering everybody's on the same FC, Gonza dropping the hard rock hidden, and Fife, that's, oh my goodness, Chile, I thought this would be a very good pick considering that speed, very good in their avenue, but the aim, I believe they're just misaiming nothing. And as the 2 FCs drop, 1 drops for Hong Kong, Zoomer as well, but F2X and Mishaawa, there's nothing that they can do but just combo and FC as well against Alphiu. And it's just these 3 scores on the board that are keeping this interesting. And T1G, now we're into the part where stamina is a requirement. F2X breaks. There is combo on Chile. It might be an opportunistic to be here for Chile.
This could get interesting. They're going to run out of time here soon, but it's so combo dense that you don't need as much time as you might think. It's only 70k. F2X falling again, so it's Mishaawa Zoomery versus Alphiu Gonza. Gonza, Zoomery both go down. It's a trade, and I don't expect Mishaawa to be breaking in this very end. We're going to see 2 FCs, 1 on either side, Alphiu, Mishaawa, but it is Hong Kong to take another point by the barest margin, 21k. The triple S rank for Chile, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just not enough. You hate to see it. That is really, really sad. And, you know, we had a lot of time to talk, and we did at least at some point talk about the fact that despite Chile seeming stronger on paper on the tapping stuff, Hong Kong is just scary. And there's kind of why. The accuracy a bit lower, to say the least, looking at F2X and his glorious 93 Act 1 miss over there. But they keep the combo where it counts, and they're just able to build up enough score. Also, that is mod difference, I think. Just a little bit. The FC on Hong Kong was Mishaawa on Hard Rock, whereas the FC on Chile was Alphiu on Hidden, which meant that Mishaawa had about 13,000 more score, which is over half of the 21k deficit. It's the little things, folks.
Just a little bit more over mod. One more hidden hard rock could have done it, but nah, that's not enough. A little bit of holds could have done something, but it is going to be another break point for Hong Kong here. The stalling did some stuff. Maybe just worn out Chile just a little bit, but you did miss a lot of buzz sliders, a lot of aim on that Fremont too, but it is going to be the pick of Hong Kong. Look at that pull right here. No mod still cleanly available, as well as the hiddens. We've yet to touch the hidden pull still. RR3 open as well. All free mods are gone, so we are going to a base pool right now instead of free mods, but now it is no mod 2, and we are finally going to see a one-of-a-kind flow map for this no mod 2 here.
And this one is like, I feel like this no mod 2 has been controversial, to say the least, because it's just weird. Like, the tapping requirement is whatever, but the flow and the angles and the actual circle placement of this map are frankly bizarre. Not something you see every day. And, you know, I feel like there's been, in some tournaments, this kind of trend toward changing the difficulty requirement in your tapping maps. You know, historically, there's been, you can adjust the BPM, or you can adjust, you know, kind of the raw flow spacing requirement, or you can adjust the stamina, so how long the streams are. This dispenses with all of that, and instead it says, have some weird aim control in your streams instead, in a way that is like almost reminiscent of something like a C-Mob if he was on some sort of, you know, like drugs, I guess. It's just very different.
I love you, honey bunny.
Let's just see who has the better flow today. And in terms of what was happening, Hong Kong has been especially well on every single map that we've seen. Chile only winning on that no mod 3 just because accuracy was just a huge part of their winnings there. No mod 4 because just combo was a really big part of their win there. Just more breaks coming out for Hong Kong. But this no mod 2, I'd say Hong Kong is very favored in this one, just considering that they have been really good at flow maps. They've been really good at these kind of really high aim requirement flow maps, and especially on 180 BPM, it's not easy at all for any of these players. This is a map where you have to be at your absolute best because the flow is just the uptime for the flow has been the entire last half of this map. So Hong Kong going into the no mod 2 very, very safe, very, very confident, I believe, and I believe this could be the final map of our best of 13 match here.
Yeah, kind of lost in the shuffle with all the delays and all the time in between the maps is that Hong Kong winning that free mod 2 gave them match points the rest of the way. So it's 4 match points. They'll get 2 picks of their own and 2 break point opportunities if needed before even getting to a tiebreaker. So definitely winning that put them in a really good spot in this match if they weren't already. So we will see if they can close it out instantly or if it'll maybe take a couple of maps to finish things off here. Again, Chile, a very good tapping team, really good tapping players on that roster, really good ACK players as well. So expecting, I think, just yet another close map. It's been time and time again that these maps have been decided by the smallest of margins, and this could just happen once more. It's another super combo dense one as well, which means that until the very last second, you don't necessarily know who wins. If it isn't a big victory, if it isn't a huge lead, then you just never know. So we'll see what kind of big combos players can build up, what kind of accuracy they can maintain, and whether any of that stamina runs out on a lower BPM requirement map.
The long slider until the flow begins. A little bit of a light tech beginning there, nobody breaking. A little bit of the accuracy advantage on Chile, but not gonna matter as the combo is going to start flying here. And as we build up with the guitar, it is going to be the flow right into it. There is already 2 breaks of Mijiawa and Nikore, but you can see why this is a very confident map for Hong Kong. There's a lot of breaks on Chile. Gonza the only one to hold is Max Virio, and F2X holding strong, and Gonza, all FCs on Chile are gone. F2X finding a break as well, so Max Virio, the only one with the FCs, he's holding through the hardest section of the map. Still a couple left to go, but it's very, very strong combo in Hong Kong right now.
Yeah, it's just going to be all eyes on Max Virio at this point. just about halfway through. He is the meaningful combo in the lobby. He has the full combo still intact, and it's about a 200k lead for Hong Kong. You do see the recovery on Gonza and on Hanayume. It is there. They will be poised to strike if Hong Kong suffers some difficulties in the back half of this pick. But for now, the leading team, the favored team, the higher seeded team, maintaining the advantage that they'll need as we go into the guitar break. Some wiggles, some cuts, some flow. It's going to be Hong Kong to fall. It's Max Vero, Misha Awa to both go down. All three members of Chile hold on. That was the opening that they may have needed, as now the door just ever so slightly ajar, but down go Hanayume Nikore. It is all on the shoulders of Gonza once more. He has been the hero time and time again for Chile, but I don't know if it's going to be feasible here. It's still a 185k lead for Hong Kong.
Yeah, they kind of have to hold here. I mean, Gonza, you do have combo. It went from 200k lead to about a 160k lead for Hong Kong. But Hong Kong is kind of building combo once again. You still need to hold. But Gonza just went through one of the hardest patterns of the map. Those circular streams are absolutely difficult as heck. And now we're getting to a section where it's just free combo, but I don't know if it's enough. There is just little time, but a lot of notes still left to click. Is it enough? It's just this dev stream for a little bit of this map. I believe there's one more section left to go. I don't think there's enough time, as they were still being combo held by Hong Kong. They were defending this onslaught from Gonza. They're defending the other combos from Hanayume and Nikore, and I believe this is the last step for Chile, the last breath that they will take in the winner's bracket, and they will be knocked down to the loser's bracket, as Hong Kong now have to face in the winner's bracket United States as they arrive to top 3 guaranteed. It is GG's in the chats.
Rare is the time when a 500 circle death stream with a 1k plus combo is not enough, but indeed here that was the case, as Chile just not able to quite do it. And another close map as a result, by the way. So Hong Kong the winner, 7-2, congratulations to them, obviously. But we need to talk about just how close this match was, because this may have been the closest 7-2 you will ever see. The Nomad 2, margin of victory, 59k. The Fremod 2, margin of victory, 21k. The Nomad 4, margin of victory, 165k, okay, a little bit higher. That was a Chile point. The Fremod for Amanita, margin of victory for Hong Kong, 37k, and on and on and on. I don't know that people that didn't watch this will ever properly understand just how tightly contested this match was. If you look on paper and you see 7-2, you think Hong Kong stomped, and that could not be farther from the truth. So you have to give a lot of credit for Chile in this match. If just a couple combos here and there had fallen their way, you're looking at a completely different match. You're looking at something that is 5-4, that Chile could be up 7-2 instead, for all we know. They had the bigger wins on their side, but Hong Kong won all the close maps, and at the end of the day, that's what made them the winners in this. That's what moved them onto the winners final for that guaranteed top 3 spot. That's what gave them that opportunity against the United States.
It's just wonderful stuff. There is that one match being commentated right now by Gaming Alone in Brazil versus South Korea at Osu 3WC_OSU-B. And that is Hong Kong moving on to top 3 guaranteed, as they are going to be facing off against the United States in that winner's bracket. And now Chile now have to face against the winner of those 4 teams in the losers bracket: Germany, Romania, Brazil, South Korea, awaiting one of those teams in that area. But I believe that is everything to cover. Still got loads of matches today: 17 UTC France versus Austria, Hungary, and 20 UTC Germany versus Romania, as those are the matches that are awaiting for us today. Anything else for you to say, T1G?
Nah, man, just congratulations to Hong Kong. Match well played. Hold your heads high, Chile. First time getting the finals week, regardless of which side of the bracket it's on, and in a very close fight. And as mentioned, we've got Brazil, South Korea on the B stream, France, Austria, Hungary coming up in about 40 minutes here, Germany versus Romania a little later on, and then we'll head onward into the potential matches tomorrow. I honestly thank you for sticking with us as well through the technical difficulties with our referees. Appreciate everybody hanging around through those periods of downtime, listening to Edamame with us. I think we had a pretty good time there. But for now, I've been T1G. He's been Exia. Thank you for watching. We'll see you over on the B stream, Brazil versus South Korea there, and then back on this A stream for France, Austria, Hungary. Semifinals week at 3WC 2026. Just gonna keep on rolling.